Imagine a house built not for the living, but for the dead. A sprawling, nonsensical mansion with staircases that lead to ceilings, doors that open to sheer drops, and windows that look into other rooms. This isn't a work of fiction. This is the Winchester Mystery House, and for 38 years, its construction never stopped. Was its owner, Sarah Winchester, a brilliant architect, a heartbroken widow consumed by grief? Or was she truly being haunted by the spirits of those taken by the gun that won the West? Today, we're not just touring a bizarre house. We're investigating the mind of the woman who built it. By the end of our investigation, we'll examine the one clue that might explain everything. A secret coded message Sarah supposedly left behind. To understand the house, we must first understand the world Sarah Winchester inhabited. The late 19th century was an era of immense change and contradiction. Industrial progress was booming, but so was a deep fascination with the afterlife. Spiritualism, the belief that one could communicate with the dead through seances and mediums, was not a fringe practice. It was a mainstream obsession, embraced by intellectuals and even first ladies. For Sarah, this cultural climate collided with immense personal tragedy. In 1881, she lost her husband, William Wirt Winchester, the heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company fortune, to tuberculosis. This followed the earlier loss of their infant daughter, Annie. Sarah was left with unimaginable wealth, equivalent to over $500 million today. But she was utterly alone in a world she felt was cursed. The Winchester rifle was celebrated as a tool of expansion and progress, but it was also an instrument of death, used in conflicts across the nation. For a grieving woman in a superstitious age, it's not hard to see how that legacy could feel like a heavy, bloody burden. This is the world Sarah fled when she left the high society of the East Coast and traveled west to an unfinished farmhouse in San Jose, California, the place that would become her life's obsession. Construction began almost immediately and would not cease until the day she died. The narrative passed down through generations claims a Boston medium told Sarah she was cursed by the spirits of all those who had lost their lives to Winchester rifles. The only way to appease these vengeful ghosts, the story goes, was to continuously build a house for them. If the hammering ever stopped, her life would be forfeit. So for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, the sounds of saws and hammers echoed through the Santa Clara Valley. A closer inspection of the house's layout reveals a design that seems intentionally confusing, almost like a defensive maze. There are 160 rooms, 40 bedrooms, 47 fireplaces, 17 chimneys, and 3 elevators. But it's the strange details that fuel the ghost stories. A staircase with 13 steps, a recurring number throughout the house, leads directly into a ceiling. A cabinet that is less than an inch deep. A door on the second floor that opens to nothing but a long drop for the garden below. These architectural oddities are often presented as proof of Sarah, as attempts to confuse the spirits she believed were stalking her through the halls. The files on the house's history show that Sarah acted as her own architect, often sketching designs on napkins or tablecloths. These plans were handed directly to the foreman with no master blueprint. This resulted in a chaotic, almost organic growth, as if the house itself were alive and constantly changing its form. But was this chaos truly a response to spectral commands, or does it point to something else entirely? When we analyze the psychology behind Sarah's actions, a more complex picture emerges. Was she truly haunted, or was she a brilliant, misunderstood woman grappling with profound trauma? Grief can manifest in powerful, often peculiar ways. The endless construction could be seen as a form of obsessive-compulsive behavior, a coping mechanism to manage overwhelming anxiety and sorrow. By focusing on a tangible, controllable project, she could distract herself from the uncontrollable pain of her losses. The act of building became a ritual, a purpose that filled the void left by her family. Some historians offer a more charitable interpretation. They argue Sarah was not mad, but a shrewd and benevolent employer. In an era with no social safety nets, she provided steady, well-paying work for local craftsmen for decades. The constant building was, in effect, a massive, ongoing charity project. She was also an innovator, incorporating modern conveniences like steam heat, indoor plumbing, and those elevators, which were rare for a private residence at the time. Perhaps the bizarre designs weren't for confusing ghosts, but were experiments. Sarah was an untrained architect with unlimited funds. Maybe she was simply exploring her own creative, albeit unconventional ideas without the constraints of logic or budget. The house wasn't a prison built out of fear. It was a canvas for her grief and her ingenuity. So we are left with two compelling narratives. Was Sarah a tormented soul, forever adding rooms to a spirit trap? Or was she an eccentric philanthropist, a self-taught architect, using her fortune to create jobs and experiment with design? The truth likely lies somewhere in between. But the mystery deepens when we consider the one piece of evidence that has intrigued researchers for years: the rumored secret message. Legends say that hidden within the home's stained glass windows are coded symbols. One window in particular, designed by Tiffany & Co., contains what some believe are two lines from a Shakespeare play, hinting at a hidden meaning or a final confession. This brings us back to our promise. While no definitive coded message has ever been confirmed, the house itself is the true cipher. Its winding halls and dead-end stairs are a physical manifestation of a mind navigating a labyrinth of sorrow. The Winchester Mystery House may not be haunted by ghosts, but it is unquestionably haunted by the memory of one woman's profound loss and her monumental 38-year effort to build her way through it. The real puzzle isn't whether spirits roamed its halls, but what the building tells us about the complexities of the human heart. What do you think? Was the continuous construction an act of fear or an act of charity? Post your theory in the comments. It helps us piece together the profile. Like this video to mark the evidence as reviewed, and subscribe to our unit to open the next case file.